Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of my VHS horror room tour, collection tour, I don't know what you want to call it. This is actually the second time I'm recording this because the first time I didn't realize my phone has some kind of weird limit on video length, so I recorded like a whole video and then it stopped recording, so I did this all over again. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed part 1 yesterday. Today is part 2 of my VHS horror movie collection. So I'll be going through this. I'm going to be going through it a little quicker, but I'll be showing you off the rest of my collection, which starts at the letter H and goes all the way to the end of the collection. U's, I guess. And then there's a couple of documentaries at the very end. But so to start off is my Halloween collection. I have 3 copies of the original Halloween for some reason. This is a media edition. It's got a little bottom flap on it. I don't know if this is actually worth money. I don't, or like if this is like a desirable edition of this. It does say it's from Astral Video. It says 1981, but then I know Astral Video, they probably reissued this probably in the early 90s, I'm guessing. So this is probably not like an OG version, but it's in really nice condition. And when I saw the little media, I was just like, oh, wait now. We might be onto something here. The next edition of the original Halloween that I have is the Blockbuster Presents Halloween edition. This is from 1995. I just got this just purely for nostalgia. I remember when this came out, there was big racks in Blockbuster Video with this on it, where you could buy this. And I think it was like real cheap to buy. It was like $5.99 or something. So the next one up is the Anchor Bay special edition with Video Treasures and Anchor Bay, I guess, put it out together. This is in like an old clamshell style. There's the tape, Halloween special edition. Anniversary edition, I guess. I don't know what, does this say what year it is? It says 97. So this must have come out at the 78, 88, 98. So this was like the 20th anniversary edition, I guess. But yeah, I'm not going to spend too much time on those ones. Any horror fan knows Halloween. Halloween 3, which of course has become kind of like a favorite now among horror movie fans. This edition, I remember the audio was really muddled. I have upgraded to Blu-ray, so. Halloween 4, another one of these Anchor Bay collector's editions in the clamshell. Here's the tape. Kind of a lame label on it. You think for a collector's edition, you think they would have put something cooler on it. And I don't know, this may have included like a booklet or something at one time, but I don't know. One of the worst movies for me, one of the worst movies, Halloween 5. This movie I thought was really, really bad. I did upgrade this to Blu-ray just a couple months ago, and I rewatched it, and you can see, I think I actually turned this off. I thought it was just not for me. I know it has its fans, but it's not for me. Halloween 6, Curse of Michael Myers. It's okay. I'm really more of a fan of the original film. The sequels, this is actually a really cool sequel. This is Hellraiser Bloodline. I'm moving away from Halloween now, obviously. This is actually really cool. One of the cooler sequels, I would say, for those kind of later, like post-original trilogy sequels. I actually really like this. I'd love to find that on DVD. I don't ever find it, but I know I will. The next one, The Hitcher with C. Thomas Howell and Rutger Hauer. This is an old HBO tape from, does it say what year it is? I don't think it has the year on it, but great little thriller if you've never seen that movie. Pretty intense, actually. I did rewatch this when I picked this up a couple years ago, and I forgot how intense that movie was. The next one up, kind of a crappy looking edition of, I can't even get it, Horror Express, with Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee and Telly Savalas. This is put out by Congress Video Group from 1985. I've seen this movie. It's definitely not one of my favorites, but it was one of those 25 centers. The next one, I don't know if this is a horror movie per se, probably more of a thriller. This is called I Don't Want to Be Born. It stars Joan Collins and Donald Pleasance. I don't know anything about this movie. This was a blind buy and also one of those cheapies. One of my thrift stores sells tapes for 25 cents, including this one, The Keep, which is actually, I think, a little bit moldy. It's got like it has one moldy spot on it, which I can clean up. It's missing the label, unfortunately, but I never see this one out in the wild, so I decided to grab it. I've actually never seen this movie, but I've had lots of people tell me it's really good. So that's an old Michael Mann. Yeah, Michael Mann. It stars Scott Glenn, Gabriel Byrne, Ian McKellen, music by Tangerine Dream. I think it's like a sci-fi World War II. It says it's a combination of horror, romance, and supernatural. So you can see at one time this was $10. I got it for 25 cents. The next one up I paid a lot of money for, but this was in my early days of recollecting. This is The Legend of Hell House. I love this movie. Roddy McDowall, Clive Revell, Pamela Franklin. This is, I paid a lot of money for this. I got it off eBay. I just really wanted a copy of this movie, and I didn't know kind of like what the market was like 3 years ago, so I paid like, I don't know, I want to say I paid like $30 or $40 for this, including shipping, but still a lot of money. But it's in really nice shape. I never see this movie around, so I'm glad to have it. I'm a huge fan of the band Skinny Puppy, and they sampled the hell out of this movie for their early albums, so kind of a nostalgia for me too. Next up, 2 copies of Leviathan. This is the original, and this is kind of like a re-release, I guess, from 1997. It's an okay underwater sci-fi creature feature. I would say I like The Abyss better if we were talking about movies like this from that era, but the next one up was a real weird one I got off of Facebook Marketplace, Maniac Cop. Weird in the sense that I bought this, I paid way too much for it. It's really beat up, as you can see. I think the tape plays okay. This is an old Cineplex Odeon release. The weird thing is the weird thing about this was that I paid the person over on Facebook Marketplace, and then the day I was supposed to pick it up, they said, oh, I got to go out, so I'm going to leave it under my porch in a box with a bunch of other tapes, and it was raining, and all these were kind of like damp when I got there, and it was just a real sketchy looking place. My mom went with me. She was like, what are you doing with your life right now? I was like, I don't know. This one, I don't really like this movie that much, but it's a cool edition. It's a KLTV Carl Lorimar edition from 1986. This is an old tape. This is almost 40 years old, believe it or not. I think this tape plays okay. I did watch it. Again, just, I don't know. Emilio Estevez, soundtracks by AC/DC. It's okay. That's not one of my favorites. The next one up, I don't, again, know if this is really a horror movie. It's probably more of like a cheesy, softcore thriller. This is directed by Charles Band. It stars Sherilyn Fenn. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This was a 25 center. Full Moon Features. Yeah, it says Meridian Kiss of the Beast. I think it's like a Beauty and the Beast kind of knockoff or something. I don't know. I do remember seeing that cover in the video store back in the day, but clearly not renting that. So. This one looks really bad as well. It's just called Monster. I don't know if this came out under another title. This is John Carradine, Keenan Wynn, and Carolyn Martin. Look at the picture on the back. It just looks real bad. This is an Interglobal Video as well, which was a Canadian distribution movie company. The next one up, Mutant, which I actually just upgraded to Blu-ray this past year. No label. But I remember this one being okay. It does go under another name, which I can't remember. Something something from outer space or something. I can't remember. You can leave comments below. I thought it was okay. I think the cover art looks cooler than the movie actually is. This is apparently an underrated Stephen King adaptation, The Night Flyer. I haven't actually watched this yet, but I'm kind of curious. It looks kind of cool. This is directed by Mark Pavia. Who's in it? Miguel Ferrer. I don't know any of these actors. I think this was a HBO TV adaptation, like a made-for-TV movie. But that's one I don't see around very often, so I decided to grab it and add it to the collection. And then, like, since I've bought it, I've seen a lot of people say how cool it is. So up next is my Nightmare Before... Not Nightmare Before, nope. Nightmare on Elm Street collection. Here's an OG media tape. It has a bottom flap, but the top flap has been ripped off. As you can see, it's in real bad condition. This is an ex-rental, but this is I think this is like an original release of this. This is an old tape. This is an old tape. Then I have some nicer copies of that movie. This is another media. I guess this is actually the same. Is this the same? Yeah, this is the same tape, I think, but just like a newer edition of it. You can see the media logo is a little smaller on the newer one. But yeah, this is cool. This is one of my favorite horror movies, and just glad to have it in the collection. I don't think I can get the tape out. I hope I could though. Yeah, because this has really beautiful. If you're geeky about this VHS porn kind of stuff, these labels are so delicious. I think actually I should show you the other one, because I think the label is like on a metallic sticker. It's quite cool. But yeah, those are cool to have. And then the last one is a mastered in high definition version of this movie, and this is from 1997 from New Line Home Video. Just a newer edition of the film. Yeah, I like different packaging. The next one up is Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. Pretty cool. Check that out. Pretty nasty. And then Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, The Dream Child. I'm not a big fan of the later Nightmare on Elm Street ones, but happy to have it in my collection. And then this one's actually kind of cool. Check out this. It's got like a lenticular cover on it. Not lenticular, but like an embossed kind of thing on it. It's just kind of cool, like kind of puffy cover. This is Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Definitely not one of my favorites of the series, but had to grab that tape. It just looked too cool. The next one up is another Interglobal Media. This was one of the first tapes I bought in my recollecting, I guess, from like 3 years ago. This is one of the first tapes I ever found. And I was really excited because I thought, like, I saw this bottom flap and I thought, oh, this has got to be worth money. This is like super weird. And then people commented and said Interglobal put out mostly like royalty-free kind of things, like not stuff that didn't have copyrights, so and not great quality. So I just upgraded this to Blu-ray, so not too worried about it. If I want to watch the movie, I've got it on Blu-ray. Up next, one that I showed off on my channel last fall. This is the Omen series, the 4-tape collection. I got this at a library used book sale, and I think I paid either $6 or $8 for it. It's a little dusty, as you can see. I think I paid like $6 or $8 for this. I can't exactly remember. I watched 1, 2, and 3. I have not watched Part 4 because Part 3 I thought was really bad. And I think Part 4 is a straight-to-video kind of one, so I don't know. I'll maybe get around to it eventually. We're almost done, guys. Next one up, Phase 4. This is one I got in a really cool VHS haul from Valley Village last fall. I found like a bunch of really weird, like I got Shock Treatment and like a bunch of weird cult movies. This was in that. This is a sci-fi horror, I think, directed by Saul Bass. I haven't watched this one yet, but I do want to see it. This is also from that thrifting haul. This is Prison. This is directed by Rennie Harlan, starring Viggo Mortensen, among others. So kind of curious to check this one out. It looks pretty gnarly, so I should really just have like a cult VHS movie marathon some weekend. I'll wait till the next rainy weekend. This one looks real bad. I'm sure it is real bad. Retro Puppet Master from 1999. I don't know. I'm not a big Puppet Master person, so I don't know. I just grabbed it because it was horror and you never see that around. The next one up I haven't seen for probably 20 years. This is Session 9. I had a co-worker I worked with who highly recommended this movie because he knew I was into horror movies. This is like back in the early 2000s. This is an old Blockbuster rental, as you can see. This is directed by Brad Anderson. I don't really remember much about this except that it takes place in an asylum and it's like real spooky. This one, my friend and coworker Erin just gave me 2 boxes of her old VHS tapes that she didn't want anymore, and this was in there. This was the only horror tape in there. There was a bunch of Stanley Kubrick movies, which is really cool. But this is the OG. This is like I think this is 1990. Yeah, 1990. I did have this a couple years ago in that Kubrick collection or whatever with the white label on it, but this is cooler, I think. Like the packaging's cooler, a bit more old school. The next one up, Cronenberg Shivers. I got this for free, actually. It's not like a real legit edition. This is from Avalanche Home Media. It oddly has a picture of David Cronenberg on the spine for some reason. I don't know. I mean, he's not in the movie yet. And that picture, even if he was in the movie, that picture is definitely not that. It's just like some random picture of Cronenberg, so I don't know. I did watch this for the first time a couple years ago when I got this for free, and I really liked it. I would like to upgrade that at some point. Up next, something I have not watched yet. I got a couple years ago. Stephen King's Night Shift collection. This has 2 stories on it. The Woman in the Room by Frank Darabont, who also did Shawshank Redemption, as well as The Boogeyman by Jeff Shiro. So, I don't remember. You guys will have to fill me in on this. Was this a TV show or something? I don't remember. The next one up is Dee Snider from Twisted Sister's Strangeland. I did see this when it came out. I don't really remember much about it. You can see Value Village used to charge 99 cents for their tapes. Now they charge $1.99, even though the technology is like totally outdated. It's really silly. And then this one I again don't know anything about. I think it's a made-for-TV movie. This is Linda Blair starring in Wes Craven's Summer of Fear. I don't know anything about this. Again, I think it's a made-for-TV movie, and I think it's based on some novel. I don't know. Like, I want to say it's like not like a Goosebumps or something like that, but I thought it was based on some like young adult novel. You can tell me in the comments below, but I haven't actually watched this one yet, so I don't know if it's any good or not. The next 3 are Tales from the Crypt tapes. This one just has 3 random episodes on it. This one is a Robert Zemeckis collection, so kind of cool. And then this one again has 3 different stories. One directed by Walter Hill, one directed by Robert Zemeckis, and one directed by Richard Donner. So, pretty cool. I actually did start to watch one of these last week. I think it was this one here. Yeah, this one, I started to watch this one last week. It's the first episode's got Roger Daltrey from The Who in it, which I thought was interesting. And then, guys, the last couple here, The Thing. I think the first horror movie I ever saw after, like, if you consider the 76 King Kong and Jaws, I think those were the only monster movies I saw when I was a kid, and I saw this probably when I was about 12. And this would have been, I think, probably the first horror movie I ever saw. And wow, what a good one to start with. Probably the best horror movie ever made. So to start with that, set the bar pretty high. The next one up, this one's real moldy. I'll show you, it's real sad. You can see those rings of white. If you're just starting to collect VHS tapes and you take the tape out of the case and you see that, it's mold and probably going to be really hard to clean and probably not good to play on your machine. So I don't know if I'm going to take the time to clean this, or I'll just wait for it to find a copy on DVD and then turf that, but we'll see. And then the last two for part 2 of this 1-year anniversary horror VHS blowout. They're both documentaries, which I kind of kept separate, much like I did with the monster movies at the very beginning. So we have Sticks and Stones, which is a Blockbuster exclusive 30-minute documentary about the Blair Witch Project. I have not watched this yet, but added it to the collection probably about just a little under a year ago. And then I got this at the same time. This is Mummies, Werewolves, and the Living Dead, the World of Hammer Horror. So yeah, this one's pretty cool. I picked these up. If you're in New Brunswick in Canada, where I live, there's a really cool store called Route 10 Collectibles, and they've got a bunch of VHS tapes. I can't say they've got cool stuff like this right now, but the person that runs the store does get cool VHS in from time to time. So, and they're pretty cheap. I think I want to say they're $5 maybe. So a little bit more than the thrift store, but some of these ones, like, I never see these ones, so I grabbed them. That's where I got a bunch of the Tales from the Crypt ones. These two, which look really nice together. I got these at Route 10 Collectibles as well, so you can follow them on Facebook, and they do post every week new stuff that they get in, so you can see pictures of what they got. And then I think I left this one off in the first part of my collection, but this is one I just got the other day. This is called The Entity, which stars Barbara Hershey. I just added this to the collection, and I didn't put it in my pile for these videos. So that's my horror VHS collection in 2 parts. That's like I'm trying to remember here. That's like over a 50-minute collection video tour. So I hope you enjoyed it. I really like doing these. I can't do them all the time, obviously, because I'd just be rehashing the same ones over and over again. But maybe in a couple of years, when my collection changes and I get new stuff or whatever, I'll be able to do another one. But this was kind of a special 1-year anniversary 2-part VHS horror collection video. So I hope you really enjoyed it as much as I did doing it. And thank you to everybody who's subscribed, gave me the thumbs up, liked my videos, left comments, all that stuff. I'm just showing these because they're kind of like my prized possessions. But yeah, to all the people at the beginning who were kind of not very nice to me, made fun of me and all that, I'm still here and I'm still going, and I'm closing in on 220 subscribers, so that's awesome. Like I said, I've been feeling kind of blue lately, so doing these videos has really helped me. This past week, of course, we did heavy metal for 1981's Heavy Metal for Cult Movie Tuesdays. There was a thrifting haul video on this past Wednesday, which you can go back and check out. And on this past Friday was a re-upload of People Under the Stairs, which I screwed up on my last upload. First mistake I've made in a year. So, hey, not a bad track record. But anyway, I hope you really enjoyed these videos as much as I like making them. Leave comments below if some of these movies are special to you or if you have them in your collections. Give me the thumbs up if you like this video. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Follow me over on Instagram at Night Owl Video. And I think that's all I got to say. I've recorded a bunch of videos this morning, so my throat's getting a little hoarse, but the sun is starting to come around, which is wonderful. I can't wait to get out and ride my bicycle. And I hope wherever you are in the world, you're doing well and doing the things that you like. I read an article last week that said that a star just ate an entire planet, and that in 5 billion years, the same thing will happen to the Earth. So someday this video will be eradicated from the history of the world and time. And so it kind of put things into perspective for me. Do things that you really like doing, and try to relax a little bit and not take things too seriously, because this won't be here forever. So that's kind of a dour note to leave on. But anyway, all of that to say, take good care of yourselves. Do the things that you love. If you like doing videos, consider starting your own YouTube video channel. If you like drawing or playing guitar or riding your bicycle or volunteering at a senior's home or whatever makes you feel good inside, go do that. And don't worry so much about everything. And take good care of yourselves and take care of the ones, your loved ones around you, because it's really important. And that's my message for my 1-year anniversary is take care of yourselves and do the things that you love. And, hopefully in another year, I'll do another one of these kind of videos. And who knows, maybe I'll have a whole bunch of new videos to include. But for now, that's it. Like I said, give me the thumbs up if you like this video and leave comments below if any of these videos are special to you. I love talking memories and special films that people love and all that kind of good stuff. So until next time, I will see you at the video store or at the thrift store or, just out and about or talking about movies, doing all the fun stuff. So until next time, take good care of yourselves, and I will be back next week with more new videos. Thank you and goodbye from Night Owl Video.